Well, in Weird Science, you were the kind of the militant brother that gave a lot of grief to his sibling. What kind of comments did people?
I relished that role. I relished it. How often do you get to terrorize people and get paid for it? I've never lived that part down. I'm sure if I live to be 100 and I do 1,000 movies, they will remember me as Chet in Weird Science. It's become like this weird cultural touchstone for people. And it's strange. You know, any actor, I don't think, wants to be remembered for a role he did like years ago. But that's the nature of the business. And hey, thank God if they remember you for any role you did. And I'm very proud of that part because, God, people remember the guy's name. So you know you hit the barn door pretty hard, and they know your name. Now in this situation, they thought, well, let's make the guy's name Bill. They were worried that I would maybe forget my character's name, so they made it very easy for me. And it's weird to hear them referring to Bill. I saw the picture for the first time last night, and they're all talking about Bill. And it's so weird to hear your own name in the character. That's a first for me. But me and Jan, I thought, well, Jan, should I change my name? But no, we don't change the name. It's okay. It's okay. Bill. I call you Bill. But then, of course, he never called me Bill. He called me Joe, Barney, Fred. Hey, Jim. I was Jim for about a month there. Jan's kind of funny that way.
Got a question about your relationship with the guys who ran the wind machines on this. Did you come to hate them after a while?
We were brothers in arms, believe me. God, all of us. You know, misery loves company. Yeah. We were in Iowa during the heat index, like went through the roof, and people were like, you know, their tongues were swelling up, and animals were dropping dead. And God, I mean, so we all suffered together. Listen, while those guys were setting up the shots, you know, me and Helen, we would vamoosio to the air-conditioned trailer and watch videos, you know, and so I didn't have to be in the heat all the time. We had our days when we got it, but let me tell you, the crew, man, nobody suffers like the film crew. They always say, what was it like? Did the ice hurt? And all this stuff. Let me tell you, those guys work harder than any actors. They are hump master general, and this crew, we went through two shooting crews. The first shooting crew couldn't take it, so they all went home. And that was political and everything else. But the second shooting crew came in, and they stayed till the bitter end. And I applaud those men and women.
Now you spent a lot of time in a car in this movie. When you're in a car with someone like that, do you guys bond? And did it make you think back to Apollo 13?
We hated each other. We hated each other. I hated the way she played with her hair all the time. I hated just everything about her after a while. No, God, like I said, we were bonded together. We tied ourselves to the saddle horn and we said, Wizard, take us to Oz. And Jan, believe me, he took us on Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. So, no, it was great. There was a lot of camaraderie on the show, and it was great. I personally loved being in Oklahoma and Iowa. This is the heartland of America, and God, unfortunately, we were there at an incredibly tragic time in Oklahoma's history, a date that no Oklahoman will ever forget, although I doubt whether every American will remember that date.
And one quick question. You shot in a lot of different places. Shooting in the Midwest, are the bystanders different than, say, Hollywood or New York?
I've never shot in New York. We shoot 6 days when you're on location. So when you're shooting in New York and LA, you only have a 5-day week, which is great. I would love that. But I mean, we shot 100 shooting days on this picture. So we didn't have the luxury to take 2 days off on the weekend. We had to go, and we also had to take the tide when it served or lose our ventures. We had a weather storm season that we were trying to capture, and not necessarily get the tornadoes on film, although the second unit got a lot of tornadic footage. But we were just trying to get those huge towering clouds and that dark sky against us. So we were fighting the clock all the time.